Hey everyone. So, as you know, this past weekend I went up to the mountains. It was very, very peaceful, very relaxing, and just very reflective for me. And I wanted to talk about how my reflection has really reinforced how I maintain my relationships, how I create new relationships, and then just relationships I need to just disengage from. And so while I was on my drive, just driving up to the mountains, I was thinking about it, and I received a message from one of my relationships in the past. This was probably about like 10 years ago, but a little bit more than 10 years ago, actually, when I think about it. But basically, the person came up and they had decided to apologize for, things that had happened in the past, the way that they treated the relationship, things that were said, things that weren't said, and then just how, the things that I told them kind of like hit for them. And so that was something that I'd gotten on the drive, and I decided that, hey, this isn't going to be, a trip on, everyone else. This is a trip for my personal reflection, my healing, and things like that. And it's something that I've always wanted to do. So we're just going to make it about me. And so that's what I did. And so I chose to not read the message on the trip. And I basically, let it go, and decided that, once I came back home, if I wanted to, I would read the message. And so that's what I did. And so I read that message, and I thought about that message, and I thought to myself, should I respond to this message? Should I, just leave it and things like that? And ultimately, I just left it. I left it mainly because I have already decided in my life that things that aren't for me, things that weren't for me, I will no longer pursue. I won't go back to those things. I won't do those things. I won't talk to those people and things like that, because they were there in my life for a reason at that point. And, whether the reason is, it was, for a romantic reason or a friendship reason and things like that, that's what they were there for at that time. And so I no longer feel the need to, go and pursue, relationships that aren't beneficial for me. So the thing about me is that I have always been the type of person that has had nothing but everyone's best interests at heart. And so, from when I was very young, I've always been like a supportive person. I'd always been a person that doesn't really give, bad advice and things like that. And that's mainly because I was raised with my grandparents. So a lot of my wisdom, a lot of things that just naturally comes from me. Yes, it is natural, but I've always had my grandparents as like guiding lights for my wisdom. And so, a lot of things that I tell people, a lot of, advice that I give to people, it's genuinely going to be good advice. It's going to be sound advice, and it's probably going to be pretty much beneficial to you. On the other hand, I do give really good advice, but I don't take my own advice. And I think that is just a thing that you know, Geminis do. I am a Gemini. So it's kind of always been like that for me. So and it's not because I don't want to take my own advice. It's because I'm very I'm very self-aware. I'm very empathetic to things and to everyone and to feelings and things. So a lot of the times, though I have very strong intuition, emotions for me run very high, very, very loud. And so it's hard for me to navigate the emotional aspect of things versus the intuition versus the logical. And so, yeah, things that don't, withhold peace, or uphold peace, or maintain peace, or bring about peace, or in any way, I don't want anything to do with, because I am at a point in my life where all I want is my peace. And for that to happen, things in life will have to be, sacrificed. It will have to be, thrown out, or, relationships will have to be, kind of like broken in a sense. Well, not really broken, but I don't want to go and engage in things that are not for me. And so, that's kind of like how I've thought about my life being from here on out. And so with me, being that way now, my level of access that I will grant people it's very limited. It's very limited. Because not everything that has access to you is for you. And that is something that I have learned the hard way. Just because, they're in your life, just because they, say nice things to keep you around and things like that. And just because, people seem like they are for you most of the time, very, very few people are for you. And so in my years, I've been lucky to have found people who are actually for me and people who actually show up for me. And, I do the same for them. People who are for you will always show that they are for you. They'll always be there when, if anything happens. They'll be there to see your worst. They'll be there to see your best. They will move, with you and, be with you and grow with you. And, that's something, unfortunately, that a lot of people in your life won't be for you. They won't be those things. And so, I don't make a lot of relationships. I don't make a lot of friends and things like that, because none of those things, the quantity of my relationships won't make my relationships meaningful. What makes my relationships meaningful are the people that are in those relationships that want to grow with me, want to see me succeed, and I want to see the same for them. And so I value quality over quantity. And, that's pretty much how I want to live my life. And through all aspects of my life. I want to value quality. I want to value peace. And, those things that aren't, checking those boxes for me, I'm leaving out. I'm leaving out in my life. I'm not pursuing those things, because those things don't deserve my time nor my energy. And, I've really tried to work on, healing and being the best version of myself, and the most peaceful version of myself. And so with that, just don't pursue things that aren't for you. And you'll know when things are for you, because, things that are for you, they just kind of like come together, they kind of click. It's not forced, it's just natural. And, yeah. So that's all I have for today, everyone. As you can see, I am in gym clothes. So I am going to the gym. I'm gonna have a beautiful day, and I hope you do. Stay beautiful, stay you. Thank you.